So welcome back guys, and this video here today is how to mature. So guys, in life you have to realize that it's all about maturing. You have to understand what that is. You have to understand it's really about growth. You have to understand it's really about being a better person, and also making sure that you're never immature, which is more like puberty and also more, let's say, teenage like throughout your life. I mean, you have to understand that you need to be a baby, although you need to grow younger and younger as you age. So you realize sometimes when you see 60-year young people, I mean, they act like they're 11. I mean, they're very immature and they're very skanky and very junkie like, and also they don't know anything, although they stink and they look ugly, and you never need to be around those people because they have this funny persona. I mean, they're very, let's say, I'm not teasing them, although you understand that you never need to be around those people because they give out this stupid vibe. And that's what's called immaturity. You need to be a person who's far greater than that, and in order for you to really get more mature, you need to be around people who can talk and also lead, and you need to read more and more throughout time so that you can become more aware on how to do everything. You have to understand that life's a journey, and that as you age, you never grow older. I never need you to ask the questions, how old are you? I mean, there's no such thing as old in life. I mean, when somebody says this is 500 years old, I mean, there's no such thing as old, you understand? I mean, this is 500 years young, because this moment is always young. I mean, they call it centuries ago. I mean, it's never even centuries ago. I mean, it's really this moment, you understand? Because this moment is always young, and it's forever, and it'll always be here. And there is no ancient times. I mean, the ancient times are right now, and you'll understand that no matter what, that Jesus died today, and the dinosaurs were today, and never 10,000 BC ago. I mean, there's no such thing as the past, guys. And you understand that I was born today, I was never born in 1992. You understand? Because my age is right in this moment. You understand that when you ask people their age, you're really asking, why are you living? You understand? Because you understand that everybody's age is this moment. You need to realize that over time, you need to be a better person, and you need to really scoff out a better way. You need to realize that scoffing out is another term for doing better, although in this term it's negative. I mean, when you're scoffing, you're a person who's really coughing and sick. Although when you're scoffing in a better way, you make sense to do something better. You have to understand that no matter what, just be a person who's always foundational in what you're doing, and lead with the heart, and make sure no matter what, you're always a person doing something productive. You need to do something productive. You need to realize that you can do it. You need to realize that you can do this video in any type of regimen, and also in your life you have to have a schedule. You need to realize that being mature is a foundational way for you to let go and just relax. I mean, when you're giving your videos, just relax and let go of what you're saying, because guess what? When you say something, you say it, and you understand that no matter what, you can also spray it in a better way. You understand that no matter what, you only speak up more in life, and make sure that no matter what, that you're speaking up more, because that's how you live more. And when you live more, you're going to mature more. And it's about longevity. You understand that no matter what, the longevity means really living a long life, and those people who are spiritual and doing something according to their life that is going to be better for them, and they're increasing their skills and mentality in terms of mental strength and focus into their passions, and making sure they're healthier throughout time. I promise you, those people are going to be more mature. And also those people who are reading and writing and doing these videos and educating something in life are going to be the people who are far more successful, which is another term for far more mature than those people who are less successful. I will say that no matter what, you would see a fat person, for example, and those people are immature. I mean, they may look mature, although they're really, let's say, old people, because you understand that some people will grow old and some people will grow young. And you understand that no matter what, when you're growing younger over time, you're more successful than the ones who are growing older. I mean, young is more modern and classical is more old. You understand that no matter what, you be a modern person, be a modern person who is today doing something, and who is a foundational leader, because that way you can read leadership and you can get into personal development and spirituality, and you can read faster than you do, because reading faster than you do is really going to help you to mature quicker than those people who never read. You understand that reading is a part of life, and if you don't read, you're never setting yourself up for success. I read, guys, 10 hours a day. I read 10 hours a day because I have time. I'm single. I leverage my singleness in order for myself to travel, because you would see people in life that have a relationship and they may have 10 relationships. I've seen a woman, she has 5 relationships with 5 different guys within 2 years. You understand that no matter what, I'm never that type of guy. I'm the person who lets the woman come to me, and you ladies have to also let the guys come to you, and you guys have to let the woman come to you. You have to understand, in order for that to happen, you need to better yourself, you need to stay single for as long as you can, because guess what? Being single is a blessing, because you never have a woman or a man to go around with, because you understand that no matter what, that your career is more important and your life is more important, and something greater than you is more important. You will understand that no matter what, when you're stuck in a relationship and you have an ugly person in terms of you have an ugly person in your life who is your partner, you understand that no matter what, that most people do divorce, and you understand that your partner may be beautiful, although most people in terms of their life are divorcing. And why is that? Because they're very immature people, and they're never learning and they're never studying. And when you have an ugly person next to you, and then you see another person who has a more beautiful person next to them in terms of relationship and in terms of spouse, you'll understand that you never get jealous, and that you grow, and that you accept it, because that way you're letting go, and that way you can mature more. You understand that no matter what, that those people who choose you and come into your life are the ones who need to be there. You understand that no matter what, I have no complaints about my life. I've been single all my life. You understand? And I've been in a couple of relationships, and you understand that those were, let's say, they were very unsuccessful in terms of with that person. Although I was very successful, and I'm still very successful, and more successful than yesterday, because I chose to leave. I chose to leave because I'm now traveling the world. I'm traveling Australia for 1 year and 2 weeks now, and it's been a blessing, because if I was in a relationship, I'd have to be staying with those people, and I would have to be with my girlfriend in one area so that I can support her and have kids, and so that I would get a 9-to-5 job to be around her. I don't care about that. What I care about is that a woman comes along with me around Australia, and I will make sure no matter what that I finance her, and that we both just grow together, because that's the whole point of relationships. You understand? Because when you're a person who can grow and move along, you understand that you're better than those who can grow and stay in one spot. You understand? So you have to move on. You have to move on from life, and you have to realize that. Just the other day, I realized I have to start also making sure that I do better, because I'm always doing better. Although I have to stay away from the old people from the past, and I have to make sure that I speak with newer people. And why is that? Because I need to mature more, and I realize that you have to detach. You have to detach from everything. You have to detach from food. You have to detach from people. You have to detach from kids and from everything that you see. Because when you detach, you'll find yourself inside. You never stick to people. You understand? You never stick to anything in life. You never stick to food. You never stick to communication with anybody. What you do is you have more communication with yourself, and that is the whole point of loving yourself. And when you're loving yourself, you'll be a person who is far more mature, because you're loving yourself every single day by talking to yourself more and more. And when you talk to yourself more and more, you talk to yourself better than before. And the only way you can do it is via writing something. So you can do it via a video such as this, or a journal such as I do. I do also this in terms of modeling, because when I take 1,000 photos, I wrote 1,000 photos. You understand? So the more I look at myself in the mirror, or inside the camera, or inside a video, and the better I speak, the more I love myself. So that is the whole point of maturing, and it comes from inside, and there's nothing to do with, maturity has nothing to do with the outside world. You understand that today I went on Twitter and I checked the trends, and what happened? Many people are saying that these people are killed, and this is going on around in certain places. And you understand that no matter what, I stay on top of the news, because you understand that the news is never growing me, although I just like to see what people are doing, although I never care about them. I care about what's inside me for the greater good. So what I do is I go online into Twitter to just check the trends so that I can better myself, to make sure that I stay away from certain places where it may be dangerous, although you understand that there is no dangerous world and that they are just making it so dangerous. You understand? So the more you go into the news trends and you read the new trends, the more you read the news trends, it's never important. You understand that it's all negativity. I would suggest that you stay away from it altogether, and that you never ever go into Twitter and read those headlines, because eventually what's going to happen is they're going to run amok in your mindset, and they're going to say that this place over here is bombing and everything, and guess what? You never need that. Although you'll find out in real life what's going to happen is somebody's going to say something towards you about a certain place, and you just go along with that, because guys, the news and the trends is going to make you more immature. So what do I do now? I make sure I move on from it, and I make sure that I delete Twitter, because it's really never helping me in any kind of manner. I never care about those soccer players that are playing out there and Cristiano Ronaldo and all of them. You understand that I'll help them, although they're never in my life. So when they come into my life, I help them. Although you understand that I never care to read how many goals they scored every single day and what did they do today, because you understand that when they're doing something in self-education, I'll be there. You understand? So when they're teaching something of this nature in terms of how to mature and better your life, I will go to their seminars, although when that never happens, I'll never go. You understand? I never care about how many goals they scored. I never care about what's going on in my country and in terms of the world, because those trends will lead you astray. Any type of trends in terms of the world is very negative and is going to make you immature. I promise you, it's full of drama, and I need you to tune out. I need you to delete Twitter. I need you to realize that it's never going to help you, and I realize that is what I'll do. And no matter what, it's really what I've done already. You have to understand that no matter what, you be a person who is always exposing yourself in a better way. You cover up never. You have to understand that you never cover up anything. You're never covering up, because when you're covering up, you're really going into secrecy and you're going into shame and guilt. And there's no point in that. So you understand that those people who have mental health issues are very immature, because they have mental health issues. They have issues. Anybody who has an issue is immature about it. I have no issues. I have no problems, because I solve them before they even come. You understand? So how do I do that? I do it in a journal. I do it on video. I help teach people how to solve problems. And I realize I tune away from the outside world's news, because it never helps me. And I never go around people who never help me. I never go around people who just love to have fun. I never go around girls who just love to have fun, as that song states. You understand? Because I never care about them, and they're never in my life, because I go on Instagram and I see these beautiful women, although they're never really beautiful, because they never wait for me. So I never care. I don't care what you have. You understand? Because you were never in my life, so why would I care about you? You understand that no matter what, you be a person who is really much more foundational, and be a person who's really caring, although you're helping in another manner, and you're never really going onto a girl or a woman or a man. You understand? Because when you're going onto people, you're really causing trouble, and you're trying to attach to something. And many people have problems with this, and you understand that you have a problem with it also when somebody's trying to attach to your woman or man. You understand that you let it go, and you never be a person who has a problem with that, and you let her decide and you let him decide about what they'll do in that moment when somebody else is attaching to them. You understand? Because you need to have full trust, and you have to have full faith. And if they do have an affair, you just move on and you let it go and you move on, because it never affects you. You understand? Because plenty of women will cheat on men, and plenty of men will cheat on women. So you understand that is immature. You understand? Because being one with something greater is the most mature way to live. And you understand that nobody in this world can satisfy you, and I cannot satisfy you. You understand that what I can do is help give you ideas, although you have to satisfy yourself in growth. I can never grow you. I can give you ideas to grow, and you have to apply them. I can do anything though. I can do anything, because every time I say I cannot, I can. I realize that no matter what, you must be a person who is always satisfying yourself more. I do that by growing. I do that by doing these life coaching videos. I do that by showing up every day to do some business. And I realize that no matter where I am, I have to do some business. I have to, otherwise I miss a day. And I never miss a day, so I show up to do my work. I show up to do something special that's something for greater. And you understand that no matter what, that this world is nothing compared to what we can accomplish. You understand that the world is really inside, and that you are bigger than the world when you're looking inside. Although when you're looking outside, I promise you everybody else is bigger than you. And why is that? Because dependent people will look outside and to outside circumstances and outside pleasures and outside people to solve their problems and to do everything for them. And when you do this, and when you expect from the world outside of you everything, which is another form of saying that you look into the outside world, and because you do that, you're expecting the world to do for you something, and you never look to the outside world in the first place. And that way you look inside and you'll become more spiritual, and you also become much more of a person who lives in integrity, and you also tune out from the outside world, as I already said, because that way you will become more independent over dependence, because those people who are dependent in the world are really they're living outside. When you're inside, you'll be independent and interdependent. So never be a person who's looking outside for anything. And you have to understand that pleasure is never your go. And when you're playing games too much, for example, you're going to be immature. You have to understand that if it's never your passion to play games, to make a business out of it, then you have no business in games. I promise you, many people are going to the net cafe, and guess what they're doing? They're staying there for 10 hours playing games, and it's never their business. They're never teaching anything about it. I used to play Dota, and I used to go and play with these people, and I had no life. And I would finish the game, and guess what we would do? We would go and smoke a cigarette after every game, and we'll talk about the game, and this guy would say, I smashed you, I got godlike. And you have to understand that who cares? Who cares about that? Because you understand that it teaches you nothing. Games will teach you nothing unless you teach it. You understand? So you have to understand, go and teach yourself something that's really going to help you succeed long term. Because when you're playing games too much, when you're still playing games at 80 years of age, you understand that most people left you, and you have no wife, and you have no kids, and you have no husband, and you have no money, and you have no travels, and you're still in that net cafe in the same spot and in the same town, and you've lived there for 80 years, and you're still playing games, and you're still playing the same one. How boring is your life? You understand? You're still playing Counter-Strike at 100. You've been playing every day. Wow. What are you doing in life? You understand? So go and find yourself a nice, beautiful world inside. Inside you, and realize that only inside is greatness. Outside, I promise you, those people outside of you will never make you great. I promise you, they'll kick you down. I promise you, they'll be against you. I promise you, they are thieves of life. I promise you, they are people who will never ever do anything for you to help you. I promise you, they'll never help you. I promise you, they'll never do anything for you in terms of life. So make sure that no matter what, that you never look to the outside world for anything, because they'll never serve you, and they'll never do anything for free for you. You understand? Because those people who do something inside are the only ones they're the only ones changing the world. And those people looking outside are always chasing something outside. For example, Osho, I spoke with Osho in terms of audio. I was listening to his audio tape, and he says, when you see a kid, they grow up. The kid and the baby is running after everything, and the baby wants to touch the soy milk, and the baby wants to touch the plastic bag, and the baby wants to put grass in their mouth, and the baby's running everywhere in terms of life. The baby's reaching out for everything in the outside world. That's the illusion. That's what the kid's never supposed to do. Although the parents are never teaching the kid to never do that. You understand? And what the kid's doing is making this whole big drama and fuss around the outside world, because the baby believes that is how to love. And because the parents are never teaching the kid to look inside more, then look outside, because the kid, what the kid's doing is trying to attach to the soy milk, and he's trying to put, the baby is trying to really go outside for pleasure and to really see everything and to reach out for the outside world, because it's never about the outside world. Nothing in the outside world is going to pleasure you and make you successful. The outside world is nothing. You have to understand that inside is everything. You have to understand that when you're reaching for outside, you'll be like that baby. You understand that no matter what, that there is a better term in which that baby relates to many people today, and they are reaching for alcohol. You understand? Those people are still reaching for alcohol. They're reaching for the best car in life. They're reaching for real estate. They're reaching for that woman or man. They're reaching for pleasures in the outside world, and they're reaching for something out there to help them to succeed. Because you understand that nobody's going to help you succeed. You have to understand that succeeding is solely your responsibility. You have to understand that many kids are growing up and reaching for everything in life. You have to understand they're reaching for everything else except for themselves, and they grow up diminishing themselves. They grow up forming this big ego because they've been reaching, and their parents have been saying, you must reach. You must go out there, you must have that car. The baby starts to lack, and the baby starts to think, why do I need that car? And the parents are saying, because that car is going to make you more successful. How the fuck is that car going to make you more successful? I never fucking care what car it is. You understand? Because that car will never ever fucking do anything for you. You understand? What's going to do everything for you is looking inside and solving your own puzzles and gifts that you have already, because you will understand that God wraps up the presents inside, and you have to go and find them. You would understand that no matter what, the outside is nothing but trouble. I promise you that negativity is everything outside. I promise you positivity is everything inside. I promise you tune out from the outside world, you'll be more positive. You'll understand that when you're teaching your kids, I promise you teach them more to go inside than to reach for anything. When your kid goes for the soy milk, you teach the kid where to look inside. You say for the kid in terms of something greater, you never do it for the kid, you do it for something greater, to go inside. Go and look inside and meditate with the kid every single day to make sure that the kid is never reaching for scraps of pleasure and grass to put in their mouth and for anything in the outside world. Never teach your kids to go and chuck rocks at pigeons. You understand? Why are you doing that for? That's a bully. You can see that. When you're killing the outside world and you're damaging the outside world, you understand that it's your ego doing that. You understand? Because the ego goes outside. You understand? You never do that. You never kill anything in the outside world. You never damage the outside world. You only look inside and you embrace the outside world inside only. You understand? Do it for the best. You never go throwing manure and everything into the ocean, and you never poison the world. You understand? You understand there is always a better way than what humans have done in this world. You understand that spirituality and what life is today has got everything to do with looking inside and within. And I'm more into spiritual books today because they teach me more than, let's say, a business book. Why? Because no matter what, I can still read business, although spirituality is talking about something that you can never explain, and I love that. I love to talk about something that I can really, really delve into that can never be explained. I can do anything in life. I just make sure that no matter what, you always say that. You have to say that you can do anything. You have to understand that is a belief, and you have to always be a person who's unblocking yourself. I always say I am rich or better in order for myself to forgive. I am rich or better, I say, because Jack Canfield taught me that, and I say I'm rich, and that means I'm rich. I am rich or better means something I'm better than rich. In a sense, so you understand that you just keep going and be a person who's really looking inside more, because to mature is to look inside and be grateful for your life. So I sometimes, and in my life, I've been so frustrated throughout life because I see so many men with so many beautiful women, and I suffered so much because they have sex with all these women, and those women never went for me. And I was relying on the woman to go for me. I was relying on them to say hi. I was relying on them to reply. I was disappointed. I became disappointed before. And I realized that I was a person who was always chasing them, and I always needed that. I always needed those legs around my life. I always needed those lips around my life. I always needed her skin around my life. I mean, that's lust. I mean, that's flesh. I mean, you understand that nothing in the, I mean, I was that little baby who was reaching out for woman. I mean, I was the woman reacher. I was always running for the woman and trying to touch them. And guess what? I felt really anxious about doing that. I felt shy. I felt guilt. I felt anxiety, and I felt secrecy about it. And when you do that, you understand that you're trying to attach to a woman. I mean, I was always that type of person before, and I started to realize that it's never about the sex. I mean, I started to really reach out for sex. I started to go for sex everywhere. I thought I needed it. I thought I was a person who needs sex because I see everybody else doing it. And this is me growing up. And I realized that it's never about that anymore. I realized that when a woman needs me to have sex, I mean, she'll come to me, and I never have to go to her, because when I go to her to have something and to get something, I promise you that's what attachment is. And you never attach to anything. I promise you that when you look outside, you teach it from inside. You understand? You teach something from the outside world inside. You understand? Because no matter what, the outside world is never going to do anything, and it's never going to pleasure you. And I can say that the outside world is beautiful, although what's more beautiful is inside. I mean, what's inside can lead you far greater than the outside world, because you are bigger than the outside world, and you can be a person who's never frustrated, and you can project outside also. You can project outside, you just never have to be outside. You can be a person who's living life and live inside while you're looking outside, and you can teach outside at the same time, although you're a person who's never living outside. You're always living inside the body. You understand? You're living inside the body, as Eckhart Tolle says. You're a person who's really never that kid reaching out for anything, because when a kid's reaching out for soy milk and for the grass to put in their mouth and the sand to put in their mouth, and they're putting rocks in their mouth, you understand that is the same way as saying that you're reaching out for the man or woman to have sex with you, and to also be with you, and to kiss you and to hug you. I was always that person who needed a kiss on New Year's. I mean, the countdown is on, and there's two people sitting next to me in Wollongong, and the countdown goes, and they're kissing on New Year, and I have to watch that, and I'm saying, wow. I'm saying, wow. I don't know why I never had that. I start to lack. I start to lack because I start looking outside, and I start believing that somehow that would satisfy me or something like that. And it's really never that. I realize it's never that anything that people outside in the world are doing that is going to help me, because you understand that nothing out there is going to help me. So anything that I've seen in the world outside of me happen is never going to be satisfaction. You understand that when you need something that you see outside of you, you start to attach. You start to attach to something outside of you. So be a person who can go and label everything that you need from the outside world and remove it from your life now. Go and write a list of aspects of life that you might need from the outside world. It could be a house. It could be a car. It could be a woman or a man or a kid. I promise you that's in the outside world. You understand? I promise you it could be clothing. I promise you it could be technology. I promise you it could be that air flight somewhere. I promise you it could be a wish or something that you wish in the outside world to happen. I promise you, although you understand that the only important matter in life is that you become a better person, and you never wish for anything outside. I promise you never wish for any circumstance, although the best circumstance that you must really have in life is to be better than yesterday, and that's it. You understand? I never focus on where I'll go after this. I focus on how can I be better today. I never care, because when I'm better today, I'll move along. I focus more on the inside than the outside. When I used to believe that sex was the way, I promise you that is because I was too much in the outside world, and I was relying on external circumstances such as caffeine and cacao powder and hot chocolate. And you understand hot chocolate is hot chocolate. You understand also that I was relying on food and drink and burritos and tacos and cheese, and I was relying on meat. I was relying on my father to bring me cigarettes. I was relying on my father to give me $20 a day. I was relying on other people to call me. I was relying on people to drive me everywhere. I was relying on people to hang out with me and call me. You have to understand, you never rely on anything anymore. I mean, you never rely on other people. I mean, how did I take control back? I took control back by driving more people. I drove more people. I was the person who stepped on the car. I stepped in the car and I drove people. I took control of it. I was taking more responsibility. And I was always saying that guy over there fucking never drives me and I always have to drive him. I realized that it's better that I drove him because that way I took control. I felt more responsibility than that other person. I felt more successful in that moment, and you can see that. I promise you it's better that you drive than other people driving you. Although that is how I grew up, and now it's more, I never need to drive and I just need others to drive me because I can do something greater while somebody drives me now. And how does that work? Because it gets to a certain stage where when you have a car, you drive. And when you have no car, you may be a person who's searching for others to drive you. When you're searching for others to drive you, you understand you have to call for a favor for someone to go pick you up, or you're always a person who needs a lift. Never be that person. Never be a person who needs a lift. Go and give yourself a lift. You understand? Go and be a person who never needs to hitchhike. Be a better person than that. Be the person who's in the limo and has a limo in front of their car. Has a limo in front of their house or whatever, and your house is really anywhere. Your house is inside only. You understand that no matter what, that the outside world is never your house, and that no amount of property in the world is ever going to fulfill you. And I promise you that no amount of money out there in the world, which is printed and plastic money notes, is going to fulfill you. You understand that everything in the outside world will never fulfill you, including these clothes and whatever. You have to understand that no matter what, you need to be a person who's never doing anything in the outside world and you live in. So how did I take control? I started to drive more people. I started to read more, because reading is something that is inside. So when you're reading knowledge, it goes inside. You understand? So I read positive material and it goes inside. I listen to positive music, it goes inside. I invest money into what goes inside. So what goes inside? Online is a world that's inside. You understand? Online is inside. So you understand that when I work online, I'm working inside also. You understand? Because online doesn't mean anywhere outside. Where is online? It's in your phone. It's inside your phone. So when you go online, you're really going inside. So when I go and work online in terms of marketing and social media, and what I do is I upload all my content online and I upload it inside our storage base, and I promise you, I look at myself inside that way. So when I, for example, take photos, I invest money into technology that can get me a great megapixel camera in order for me to brand myself and take photos mostly. I don't care about the technology, I care about the photos. I care about the quality of the photos. So I give money for that. I then give money also to get myself somewhere. So I give money to go from Brisbane to Darwin because I've never seen Darwin. And when I see Darwin once, I promise you that it goes inside. So for example, you may be a person who goes from Spain to Italy and you've never been to Italy. I promise you that once you see Italy, it goes inside. You gave money for that. You gave money so that you can see the scenery of Italy, and once you see it once, it's inside now. You have more meaning now. You give money for more meaning. So what are some ways in order for you to become more mature? You give your money where it goes inside. So what goes inside? I promise you that you go give money towards advertising, because when you give advertising to brand yourself so that you can get more followers and more people in terms of life, so you can inspire, you understand that it comes back tenfold. The more money you give into yourself, the better you are. You understand? Although you do it in the positive aspects. you understand that, for example, you only do it in terms of life where it's positive. So you're advertising yourself, and when you advertise yourself, you're looking inside and you're being a person who can brand yourself. And for example, with my Instagram, I have 5,000 photos. I boost one post, I give $30 a day. I boost my own post. I mean, that money is going inside because it goes in the inside realm, and it disappears, although it's worth it because I inspire 15,000 people a day because they click inside my profile and they see my link and I inspire them. I then give money for that. I give money to inspire people, and that's it. I also give money so that I can have nice new clothes, although it's never to look good for the outside world. I promise you it's for my business so that I look good. I never do it for the outside world. I do it so that I can go into my photo shoots, so that I can do photos, so that I can post the photos up online, so that I can have a nice definition of Danny Milivojevic for something greater. And I never do it for the outside world. You understand? I invest money into that. I invest money into accommodation because accommodation enables me to do this work, such as a video and also writing, so that I'm healthier and live longer. You understand? I invest money into what helps me live longer. I invest money into what makes me look better. So what makes me look better is also food and drink that is healthier in terms of nature. So I have to make sure that I invest in food that is the greatest food in terms of energy. So I go and study upon it, and I read upon nutrition, and I make sure to remove certain foods from my life. And I've removed over thousands of foods now. And because of that, I've reached to a stage of 3 groups of foods, which are legumes, nuts and seeds. And I also have myself soy and wholemeal bread and peanut butter. And you guys can go and find all of the nature of my daily food schedules and what I eat. I eat about 20 foods on any given day, and it's really just that, and I rotate. And because of that, I invest money into scenery. So when I have never been exploring anywhere in Japan, I'll go to see the whole Japan. And when I see the whole Japan, I mean, I may give $20,000 for it. Although I see in Japan, I never care. I mean, I move on now. I never have to see Japan again. I just move on now. You understand? Because that's the whole point of life. You have to travel, and you only have a certain amount of time to do it in. So when you're moving right away and you need to move fast, you need to realize you have to be on the go. You have to be on the go, and you have to invest in skills also. You have to invest in what's going to make you live a longer life, and knowledge is the way to go. I mean, invest in knowledge. I mean, invest in music. I mean, when you're listening to music also, it's a nice way for you to have a beautiful experience. So why not? And also go and make sure that no matter what, that it's something related to the outside realm in terms of the afterlife. I mean, you have to understand that afterlife is this moment. You have to understand the outside realm is this moment. You have to understand that everything out there is this moment. So look into the moments for pleasure and success and everything. I mean, never ever need anything from the outside world to put in your mouth or to touch anything in the outside world to make you feel successful and to make you feel more successful. I promise you that car and that Ferrari, once you give $220,000 for it, I promise you that it's only going to be in Sydney. You understand? Because you live in Sydney, for example, and you get a $220,000 Ferrari. I mean, where are you going to put it? You're going to put it in a garage. You may get some looks, and really they're going to be dirty looks. I promise you that people are going to hate you. I promise you no matter what, because they see you have a car. I promise you they hate you because you have a car, and they're stupid for that. You understand? So no matter what, you then have to go to Italy, and you're going to leave your Ferrari behind in Sydney, and you get $220,000 for it. I mean, now you have to take your Ferrari everywhere. I mean, it's a burden. You understand? So what do? I use Uber. I'd rather use Uber and drive myself in a Ferrari everywhere, you understand, than having to actually buy something outright. So I never buy anything outright. I just invest. I invest in clothes. So I may invest the total amount of the clothing or whatever. I may get the clothing because I never rent clothing, although you can rent clothing too. You can go and get yourself a tuxedo and whatever you need for one night. I promise you look good, and that's it. You never need it. You never need to buy it outright. You understand? You never need to buy yourself a tuxedo and a suit outright ever, because it can be $10,000, although you can give $120 just for a 3-night experience with that suit. You understand? As long as it's clean and whatever. You understand? Because you have to rent clothes as well. You rent clothes. You never buy clothes. You only rent it and you throw it away. Because when you buy something, you only keep it. I mean, when you buy something, you have to realize that you never buy anything. You never buy, you invest only. Because an investor is a person who's always looking to find a better way to invest into something. Because those people, for example, where you may go and get a car that is $50,000, and you have to now realize that you're going to go and take photos and you're going to go post it on social media and you're going to get 100 likes. And then guess what? You're stuck with a car. I have 50 grand more though. I'll get the 50 grand and I'll go to Japan and I'll visit whole Japan. I'll also go to whole of China and I'll visit the whole of China in 2 years. You understand? I'll visit the whole of China in 1 year. I mean, it doesn't have to be 2 years. I can visit the whole China in 30 days. You understand? So I make mistakes, although you understand that I'll just go travel the world for 3 years. And you are stuck with a car in one area while I'm traveling. I mean, you got a 9-to-5 job. Bravo. I've got $50,000 and I'm traveling the world for 3 years without a 9-to-5 job. You understand? So be smarter with your money and never buy a car outright, please. Because that way you understand that the car is never going to satisfy you. You understand? I mean, the car is never going to bring you any joy. And I promise you that it will save you time. I promise you that a car can save you time. Although a car is never really the way to go. I promise you what is the way to go. I promise you the way to go is really to go inside and to never rely on a car to get you anywhere. You guys have to understand that you need to be smarter with your money. So your money is really inside. You need to realize that your money is the skills you have, and your story is your money. So the more you expose your story, the more money you have. Because those people who never talk about their story never have a life. You understand? Because there is no such thing as the outside world's money. I mean, the outside world's money is there to ruin you. I mean, what's inside is more important than what's outside. I mean, there's no money being printed in you unless you're growing. You have to understand, you need to grow and print your money inside. Because the real printing machine is your ability to learn and grow, and it's your ability to absorb information that's positive, and to make sure that you have a greater experience in traveling, and to see more scenery, and to listen to more music, and produce more music if you can. You'll understand no matter what, that you can plan, and you can write in your journal all day long, and you can teach all day long in your journal, and you never have to say a word for 2 years in terms of on video. And inside your journal, you can be writing and contributing to the world in some kind of fashion about your thoughts and everything, and nobody has to see it. And then once you pass away, which you'll never pass away, you understand that you go and live in eternity anyway. You go live in eternity anyway, because there is a better world. You have to understand that no matter what, that there is eternity in life, and you're always here forever. You understand? So you have to understand, you go and create something, and with words you do that. You do that with words. So in order for you to have billions of dollars, you need to have billion-dollar words. So go and find yourself better words in life, and you can do that with the journal, and you can do that with a dictionary. And you connect you connect the dictionary together with the words. You understand no matter what, you connect your life together. And as Vishen Lakhiani says, you connect the dots. So never be that baby who's always reaching out for everything. I mean, you find food, you find pasta, you find everything. You're looking for pornography, you're looking for something in the outside realm to satisfy you. I promise you never need it. I mean, you never look for pleasure either. I promise you, when you're looking for anything in the outside world, such as a person or a girlfriend or marriage or something that you feel that you need in life from the outside world, I promise you never need it. I promise you what you need is inside. I mean that you need inside more than everything else, because nothing out there will satisfy you. I promise you that what goes inside that is positive only will. So you are your diet. So a person who's really being a better dietitian in life and studying the realms of diets in terms of information and food and drink and what to watch and how to go about life, because how to go about life, I mean, how to go about life is a diet. So the more knowledgeable you are in certain areas, and as Brian Tracy says, be a person who's knowledgeable in 2% of every area in life. I mean, learn 2% of every area, because there's no chance that you will learn everything in life. And those people who never learn everything, I mean, they know nothing. So when you hear Socrates say, who is a person from this moment, and he lived in this moment, and you understand that he died today, you understand that he says, I know nothing. I know nothing. I repeat this word all the time. I repeat these words. You understand that a sentence is one word. You understand? I promise you this world is one word. I promise you that my life in 80 years is one word. I mean, everybody can describe their life in one word. I mean, are you successful today or no? I mean, you can describe yourself in one word, and mine would be integrity. Mine will be integrity. You understand? So no matter what, you need to be a person who goes and lives life, and be a person who's really successful, and make sure that you're helping much more than you are. You have to understand that those people who are helping, and who are helping the people in the outside world more and more, are going to help themselves more and more. So what you give is what you get. I mean, what you give is what you get. So the more you are compassionate in their life toward yourself and others, I promise you that's the way to go, and that's the way to be. And that means you're kinder more, and you're more positive, and you're more likely to succeed than those people who just waste time and have fun and never help anybody. You understand that you go be a person who helps, because 99% of the world is too focused on what's happening in the outside world, and they're not doing anything about it. You have to be a person who tunes out from the outside world, and you go and help. You go and help and do something, because in the long run, I promise you, in the long run, what's going to happen is people are going to notice you. I promise you, you're in it for the long haul. I promise you that nothing ever happens quick, although you have to understand that nobody ever gets rich overnight, although 80 years of life is overnight. You understand? It's just 1 second. I mean, it goes quick. You understand that this life will go quick, and this life will go slow also. You have to understand that you need to adapt. You need to adapt quicker than ever. You need to do something quicker than ever. You have to realize that those people who are really foundational in what they're doing are also projecting outward, also teaching. I mean, they're teaching outward from what's inside. You understand? You have to teach what's out there. You have to teach what's inside. And the only thing that you can teach is inside. So all the information that you ever heard about life is coming from the inside and never the outside. I promise you, although, that you have to understand that information alone is going to get you there. I promise you that you need to be a person who just reads. I promise you that you just go and read. I promise you get to a certain level where you're going to say, I have to start contributing now. I mean, I have to start going to help somebody succeed, because I have all this knowledge behind me now. I believe I can do it. So you read for 10 years every day for 3 hours or 1 hour or 30 minutes. You understand that no matter what, you dedicate yourself every day to reading. And Brian Tracy recommends 1 hour. I recommend 10 hours a day. You understand? I read 10 hours a day. I read no matter what. I read 10 hours a day, and that equates to 30 hours a day. Because it's really 35 hours a day I read. Because you understand that I read at 3.5 times, and I'm single, and I can, and I have the audiobook repeating all day long. So I read 3 books a day, and I read Osho's book right now, The Secret of Secrets, and it's 53 hours long, and I can finish it in 10 hours time. So no matter what, you understand that I finished this book in 2 days. You understand? Because I read at 3.5 times. I read quick. And I mean, Osho has 2 books that are 100 hours. I have to get his next book, which is around 49 hours, and I'll finish that book in, I'll say 10 is 35 hours. So in about 1.5 days, I can finish it. Understand? I mean, his whole course. I mean, it's a spiritual course, and I really delve into it. You understand? Because I'm listening to it all day long. Why? Because you understand that those people who read more are going to be more successful. So I thrive to make sure I grow in any manner. I mean, in any manner that I can. So I do these videos, I do modeling, and I make sure that I can inspire the world more and more through the inside and never through the outside. Because when you're stuck in the outside realm and the circumstances around you and nobody's helping you, you have to turn inward to help yourself, because that is taking responsibility, and that's becoming a more mature person. So a person that can really be foundational and never rely on the outside world for money and anything, and never rely on the government either to give you anything, I promise you in the long run, you never rely on anybody to give you money, and you never rely on anybody to solve your problems. You'll understand that money alone will never solve your problems. You have to understand that you need to solve problems in order to get money. So how do you get money? You get money by solving more problems, and other people just give it to you. I promise you that you go throughout your life solving more and more problems. I promise you that people will notice you and you'll get attention, and people will just say, I'll give you this much so you can give a speech. You go give the speech, you just never do it for the money. You understand? You never do it for the money. You're doing it freely. And they will just give you the investment of what you're giving. You understand? So no matter what, you just realize that you go give the service first, and then realize no matter what, they may drop in $10 million in your bank account. You understand? And then you just go live life. You have to understand that it's never about the money. You have to understand the money is just there because of the work you've done. And those people who never have skills and never grow themselves and never have the ability to do anything, let's say in terms of teaching and leadership, and they never have the ability to learn, I promise you those are the people in the 9 to 5, and they're going to be stuck there forever because they have to do something in life. So be a person who can do far more than the 9 to 5, and it's really easy, guys. I promise you it's really easy to go read for the next 5 years, 1 hour. I promise you for the first 5 years I was reading 1 hour. I was reading at 1 times, and I stuck with Brian Tracy's method, and then I started to increase my speed of reading at 1.5 times, and then I went to 2 times, and then I went to 3.5 times. You understand, on YouTube I read at 2 times, and now I'm just dwelling into these books, and I realized no matter what that I read 3 books a day now. I started to say I read 1 book a day. I start to read 3 books a day now, because you understand that no matter what, I just have to keep myself reading and occupied. And the more spiritual I get, the better I get. So I'm always looking inward. I'm never looking the outside world. And I'm never following Twitter trends and what's on Twitter and also the news trends, because I find out anyway what's happening in the world. And you realize no matter what happens, that you just go and focus on your inner world more than you do in the outside world. And that way you'll be more positive. Because when you're too much into the outside world's trends, you'll get negative. And I realized that I even start to get negative because I realized that somebody got killed or something happened in South Africa, and that's why I'll never go there. You understand? Because I will go to South Africa and I never care what happens. Because they're trying to limit you, guys. So no matter what, you have to realize you never be impacted by the outside world, and turn it off, please. I mean, turn off the pornography, and turn off the masturbation, and turn off the TV and the TV shows and the cinema. You understand to turn off the UFC, and also turn off the cartoons, please, and also the games, because that's never going to make you more mature. You understand? Because I don't know why you root for one guy to smash another guy's face. I don't know why you cheer for that. You understand that you're being immature about that, and you're probably in the pub smoking and doing drugs, and you're probably doing that with your friends, because you follow your friends and you never follow Jesus. You understand? You follow your friends because you think they are greater than God. You understand? So be a person who's always more productive in life, and never be a person who is negative. So realize that traveling is everything, and the more you travel, the more you can do. You only realize that you can only do more with more skills. I've been able to travel because I have more skills. And how did I acquire it? I acquired it through reading. I acquired it through having mentors who can get me there. I have mentors who can help me to be successful, although guess what? I'm the one who does it. You understand? I although get their ideas, I apply it into my life, and I look inside more. I never look outside for anything in life. I never look to you or anybody to help me. I realize no matter what, I give you everything for free, and that way I build attention, and I put money into marketing now. And every single day now I put $30 in, and I get that from the government. I never care, because guess what? In the long term, I'm inspiring people, and no matter what, it's more that I realize that it's never about their money. I can go and work for it, although I never work for money. I just go and I work inside. I can work inside everywhere, and at the moment you understand that money is never going to solve anything, and I have no shame about receiving money. You understand? Because no matter what, you understand that those people who receive money are much more richer than those people who work for it. You understand? I receive money from the government. I'm happier than those people who are working for the money. You understand? So Why? I've been traveling 1 year with the government's money, and you understand that no matter what, I've been able to do so because they've allowed me to do it. And you understand that is the way I live life. And because of that, you understand that there is no luck here. I realize that I chose it. And I'm a person who just goes and does it. And you realize that no matter what, that money never made me travel the world for 1 year around Australia. You understand that money is just there to help me in terms of me helping myself with the finances to have more of it. So how did I do that? I made sure to increase my habits and better myself with my skills, and to continue writing all this content down, and to keep doing the videos, and to keep doing motivational videos along the way. And also I've cut the motivational videos right now, although you realize that now I do how-to videos. You have to realize that no matter what, it's a much more pleasant experience when I sit for 1 hour growing than having to move around everywhere while I grow. Although no matter what, I love to move everywhere while I grow. Although you understand that I love to be in a 1 hour video growing over 1 minute here and there. You understand? Because for me, it's a much more beautiful experience to be able to speak on one topic for 1 hour. I just do it for that. You have to understand that no matter what, you have to understand the government's money never helped me. You have to understand I helped me. I helped me more than the money. I worked my money. I walked all the way around Australia for 1 year. I walked. I mean, the money never helped me walk. I mean, the money was there, although you have to understand that no matter what, the money is always going to rotate, and the money is really inside of you. It's never really in the outside world. I mean, the money is never in the outside world, and it's never really going to help you. You have to realize that I get itchy because of the grass over here. I don't know why. I realized that I could be allergic to grass. I realized no matter what, you must be a person who goes and dwells in a better way, and be a person who's really inspirational in what you're doing. Because guys, those people who are inspirational are going to lead, and they're going to be better people. I mean, those people who really live life have a much better way of saying that no matter what happens, you're going to really, really be more successful. So realize that those people in the outside world are going to lose, because you never look in the outside world, you look in the inside world. And you have to understand that you can project in the outside world, you can project everything from the outside world, although you have to realize that it's really about the inner world that's more important. You have to realize that, guys, I learned some skills also in terms of becoming more mature, and it's really when you're scratching your ears, and you're scratching the inside of your ears, and you're really scratching it, and you're scratching your bum and anywhere around your bum, and you're scratching anywhere around yourself. For example, what you do is instead of scratching, you just massage it. You massage it, you understand? And it's a nice remedy to massage your scratch. I mean, you never scratch your scratch, you only massage it. And that way, you're going to be less irritated, and your itch is going to go away much quicker. Although when you're scratching your itch, I promise you, you'll have a rash, and you have something worse there coming because you're scratching it so much. You understand? So when you're scratching it with your nails. Although I never need you to scratch it, I need you to massage it. So at the moment, I have a nice, beautiful allergic reaction over here. Although I have no allergic reactions. I never believe in allergic reactions. I just have an itch over here around my thigh. And what am I doing? I'm massaging my thigh because I feel the itch. I feel the itch, and I never need to scratch it, because when I massage it, it's more than enough to make the itch go away. So that way, when you're scratching, please remember to just massage yourself there, because that's a nice natural. It's a nice natural remedy where you can really accomplish a much better, great deal of maturity. And just realize that you be a person who's never into anything other than self-education. So make sure that you're always growing and being a foundational leader. So if you cannot be a person of any other quality, be a person of a leadership quality. You understand? So be a leadership person in any type of area and teach it. So the best way to do electronic music is to teach it first. So how do you do that? You get into the program and you teach everything. I promise you, dive into it. I promise you that you can slowly make videos, and you can dive into the software, and you can say this is this, and this is this, and this is this, and this is what this does, and this is what this does. And I promise you make 1 minute videos upon that, and you record the screen or whatever, and you make a nice, beautiful educational course. And that way you dive into electronic music, and you have all the software there, and you have all of the twigs and functions, and you're teaching all the functions and what is everything in terms of all of that. And that way you will learn the software much more, and that way you can do music much better, and then you'll start to enjoy yourself much more, and then you'll start to dwell into making all these tracks, and then you will teach every single part of it. You understand? And that way you can learn and grow into a superstar into electronic music. And I do that now, although I'm doing much more spiritual work and inside work at the moment, and more leadership and public speaking and communication work at the moment. I'm also doing more life coaching, and I'm also doing managing in terms of confidence and managing people and managing the mindset I have so that I can grow it. I realize no matter what, I'm always growing myself. I'm always making sure I'm doing more work around traveling and around my finances and around my business and marketing skills. So I am testing everything, although now I have more time to do music production, because I realize that inside marketing is more than enough for me to give $30 a day and let it be now. And I never have to engage people for free anymore. I realize that I do it for free. I do everything for free, although I never have to engage people online anymore, and they just engage me because I have plenty of people coming into my inbox now to say hi, and I just never reply because they're never valuable in terms of my life. So you understand that I never care about their hi. I care about some information. I care about growing. I care about my gigs. I care about something inspirational. I never care to talk with you for 1 hour. You understand? You have to understand that I have much better things to do than talk with you and to tell you where and what country I'm from and what time I'll be in Saudi Arabia. You understand? Because you understand that it's all countries that come to see me, although you understand that it's more I reply to the valuable people. So when a woman says, I'm interested in having dinner with you, or something of that nature, or they invite me into the seminars somewhere or to public speak somewhere, I do reply. And it's only a reply to those people who I grow with and who are positive and who actually give me some value. And that way I do realize that I am much more happier, and I do have a more greater time replying to people who are encouraging me in terms of love. So when somebody is a person who may send me some love or gratitude about what I'm doing, or may call me an inspiration, I may reply also. You understand that no matter what, I never reply to people who offer me business and say, you must come to my page to give me $30 so I can promote you. I never care about those people. I never care about those people because money's in the way with their love, and I never do it for the money. I never do it for them. I do it for something greater. I do it already inside my Instagram, so why would I do it inside their Instagram? Why would I do it inside their Instagram? You understand that this is where also I brand myself over here. I promise you, over here it's all yellow over there. It's a nice beautiful yellow path in terms of the bush is yellow, and I decided to brand myself. Although why? Because you have to understand, guys, it's a nice beautiful method for yourself to grow, and it's more confidence, and you're doing it in front of people also, and you realize that over there's a restaurant and people watching me while I actually model myself, and it's a nice look when you have 1,200 photos of yourself every single day. And that way you understand that I listen to Jim Rohn when he says take as many photos as you can and do as many videos as you can and do as many journals and do as much content and as many quotes and meet as many people as you can. And you have to understand that is the whole point of life, and the whole point of life is be around better people though. Never just meet junkies. You understand? Go meet better people than junkies. Go meet somebody who's really successful, and that way you can learn from them and grow from them. And the best way you can do that, and the best way you can meet better people online and overall, is online, and go and read more books, because that's how you're going to meet more people. Understand? The best way to meet more people who are doing something valuable is online, and you can get their books, and you understand that you can surround yourself with millionaires and billionaires who are online right now. And I do that already. I have over 30 mentors that I go to, and I go to be their student, and that way I'm always a student of life, and that's what makes me more mature. I'm able to do these videos now because I do them easily, and I dedicate myself for 1 hour, although you understand that no matter what, I'd rather do these videos than work a 9-to-5 job for $25 an hour. So I'd rather do this because this is for free, and I do it for free because it's my passion, and I'd rather have a passion of this nature and travel the world over having to go to a 9-to-5 job and never do this and never travel. So you'll understand that those people who have a passion are much happier than those who never have a passion. So go and focus on yourself and go focus on doing your videos such as in terms of where people are never around and there's no cars around and you're peaceful and you're loving and you're under trees and you're in nature. You can go always do a video such as this. I did one in Cairns, although there was a spider nearby somewhere and I made sure to flip it off. You understand? So no matter what, never get bitten by a spider, please. And make sure that you never put yourself in danger. Make sure that you're a person who is educating yourself around nutrition and veganism, please, because I'm a vegan. And please study much more upon everything in life. I mean, listen to Byron Tracy when he says, learn 2% in every area. I mean, learn 2% in every single area, please. And make sure no matter what, you're a person who never limits yourself. You're a person who goes inside and you dig deep and you find gold. You'll find something beautiful inside of you. I promise you, no matter what, I hope that you're inspired in this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. And please, please, please make sure that you guys share this video around because many people need it. And I add some value in this video, so I hope that you understand that. And I'll see you guys in the next video.